Hello friends, it's Mora. This is the third day of VEDA, and I'm already filming a video at 10 o'clock at night. I don't know what to film, so... You know what, I have an idea. I have an idea. We're gonna do a story time, because story time, they are easy. I have a lot of stories to tell. We're gonna do a camping themed story time. Okay, we'll just do, let's do 3 stories. One from a state park adventure, national park adventure, and a general trip story. So, first story, I was about 8 years old, and my family has an affinity for not an affinity, we get a lot of head injuries. So my brother has been assaulted by Vandormort, as we say. Bellatrix, my brother threw a bell at his head. The secret ninjas, when he ran straight into a pole. A lot of head injuries, and it's time for my sister, right? So we were cleaning up this colossal tent. It was giant. It took forever to set up. It was during a spring camping trip fall camping trip at Turkey Run State Park. And we were sweeping in there, and apparently I was sweeping too hard or something, and they're like, oh, you're gonna rip a hole in the tent. And I can't remember, I was 8 years old. I got real angry, and I threw a dustpan. I was just throwing it out of anger. It hit my sister in the forehead, and she started screaming, and blood started spurting out of her eyebrow. And she had to go to the emergency room and get stitches. So I sat in the corner for about an hour at the lodge, and I think I said 23 words, I counted. So yeah, don't make me angry when there's dustpans around. That's what we have learned, friends. Yes. Okay, let's think. A national park story. Oh, I almost died at Yosemite. So we were hiking up the, if you've ever been to Yosemite and you've been to Yosemite Falls, you know that Yosemite Falls is 3 segments. There's Upper Yosemite Falls, like the Middle Falls, and the Lower Falls. And the Middle Falls is sort of like hidden, so no one really remembers it. It's like the middle child. And we were hiking, I don't really think we're supposed to, but everyone was doing it, so just do what everyone does. We were boulder scrambling up to the basin of Lower Yosemite Falls. And that sounded fun. It was great. I was 9, first big trip that we did. And that's the first time I was at California. Went to California. And we got up there. It had been a very wet winter, and it was like not like there was so much water. Oh my lord, there was so much water. And I slipped on a rock, and I fell into the stream that was coming down. So there's like the basin of your Lower Yosemite Falls, and from down there trickled a bunch of water, and there's a bunch of rocks and a bunch of wet rocks. So I slipped on a rock, and I fell into that rushing rapid, and some weird sisterly instinct of my sister, she caught my hand, and it was like the water was like up to my chest on like a 4'9" or whatever. I was real short when I was 9. And I was freaking out because I felt like I was gonna get pulled away and knocked down the river and crack my head open or something. I probably would have died, but as my brothers always say, because like, it was 3 feet of water, well, it felt like I was gonna die to a 9-year-old. So my sister, we panicked there for a second, she pulled me up, this whole deal. We went back to the parental units who were not boulder scrambling, and we got me cleaned up, and we went to go help with laundry. Very exciting. My brothers reached the base, and they swam. And then a couple years later, in 2016, I did not die while going up the falls, and I swam in the basin, and then we, again, nearly thought my sister had died because we couldn't find her, and my brother got a Charlie horse while swimming up to the falls, and he nearly drowned, and so did I. So that was fun. listen to the park rangers, kids. And a general travel story. So on the trip, our first big trip out west in 2012, I want to say, yeah, 2012. We had our Suburban that we'd had for at least 10 years at this point, probably, and we were driving it, and it was green Suburban. It was driving our Jayco trailer across the country, and we broke down. Like, we were about to break down right outside the Rocky Mountains because my dad, there was this noise, and he's like, you know what? I want to go to an auto shop just to be safe. And we could have broken down in the mountains, which would have been horrific. So what we did is we rented a van. We packed all of our stuff up to, like, we were like surrounded by things. I think I had a cake on my lap. And we went tent camping in the Rocky Mountains, and it was great. It was wonderful. We just got our site reassigned. Because we were outside the park. We were not actually inside the national park, because you generally don't. It's hard to get sites actually in the national park. So we went surprisingly tent camping in the Rocky Mountains, and it was wonderful. And there's a photo of me. I don't feel like looking it up, but if I can find it, I'll probably have it as the thumbnail. And it was great. And then while going home, while visiting our second cousins in Missouri, so there's this town in Missouri, and it's called Cuba. We broke down in Cuba. This is really just fun to say, like, oh yeah, we broke down in Cuba while driving home from Missouri, and then we had to stay a couple extra days, and now we actually have their Suburban. So yeah, that was just a couple stories about moi and my camping adventures over the past 16 years. My family is devout campers. The first time I actually ever stayed in a lodge was this weekend, and I've stayed in cabins before, but no, and I've been to 43 states. And the only states I've not been to are Delaware, because I mean it's smaller than this, like, oh, it's smaller than Indianapolis. Florida, I've not been to Florida. Alabama, and Mississippi. And we're going to be going to Alabama, Mississippi, and hopefully Florida this winter, because we're going to go on a trip with our friends and neighbors for Christmas, and we're gonna spend Christmas in Gulf Shores. I'm really excited. So yeah, that was VEDA. I have to get up at 5:45 tomorrow to go to school for an event, but I wanted to post something, so we're gonna keep chugging along, and oh my goodness, let's try this, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you love this video, because it was really actually fun to talk about. It was real spontaneous, but I think it turned out pretty good. If you liked it, you can give it a thumbs up. If you've never seen my face before and you enjoyed this video, you could subscribe. That would be awesome. I have 7 measly subscribers right now, but I mean, it's a good amount. Seven's a good amount. There were 7 Harry Potter books. Bye.